Wardo's one of the few people that have beaten me so hard that I instantly respected like the ad. Yo, 1460? It's pretty good. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to showcase a team that's been absolutely dominant for me in Ultra League this rotation, especially after the moveset update. I went a total of 18-2 with this team in the first 4 sets I played it in, and I've been climbing a ton ever since. Even in that 18-2 stretch, I also had an 11-game win streak. So I'm gonna showcase those 20 games. Obviously, I played a lot more than just these 20 games, but this is probably one of the more impressive runs I've run with this specific team. The team consists of Virizion, Greedent, and Steelix. Both Greedent and Steelix got buffs this season, so Greedent getting access to Mud Shot and Steelix getting access to Breaking Swipe. And obviously these two are really strong. And I know a lot of people are talking about how strong Steelix is in this current Ultra League meta, and Great League as well, I should say. But the Mud Shot buff to Greedent, I feel like is very underrated and under radar that not a lot of people realize, but it is so strong Mud Shot, and I'm going to go into the footage and show you why. Before we get into the battles, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access to my strategies and lineups, or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the Patreon link down below. Getting into this first battle of me using this team, obviously a pretty rough lead, so I'm going to swap straight over to Greedent and just tank whatever energy they have. I typically don't throw the crunch right when I have it because most try to catch with it, and then now comes a Alolan Ninetales. So this is already, setting some alarms off in my head because I see this team a lot. It's Shadow Claw, Giratina, and typically double Charmers in the back. So expecting that to be the potential team, I am going to shield up because there's not going to be a lot I can use shields on at this point. So I am going to throw another Body Slam, and it looks like my opponent is going to let it go. And as expected, here is that second Charmer. Again, going straight Body Slam. They shield, which is pretty nice for me. And then I'm coming Virizion. Virizion has a little bit more play into the Gramble than the Giratina. And also the Steelix is very strong into that Giratina. And then I go for another Leaf Blade. They actually catch the move on the Giratina, which is fine with me because then now we can do really well in this situation. Yeah, Steelix is a clear shutdown answer to safe swap Giratina and just Giratina in general, which is really nice. You just throw one Breaking Swipe, you farm all the way down, they're doing no damage. Once in a while you might face home with Shadow Force, but for the most part, yeah, you can either shield it or just even then you can let it go, be fine too, because they'll take so much damage in the process. But yeah, able to see Giratina double charm with a Virizion on the team. It really goes to show how strong this team potentially could be. And then, of course, we have a fantastic lead in this situation. And then they come in Virizion. So this gets a little bit tough for me because I need to neutralize the Swampert, but at the same time, I also need to neutralize the Virizion. Greedent's okay into Swampert, but with lack of access to Bullet Seed now, or I should say lack of access, but replacing Bullet Seed with Mud Shot, you're not going to have as clean of a matchup in that situation. However, I am able to take out this Virizion, and I'm going to throw... I should have thrown a Sacred Sword. I'm not really sure why I threw Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade doesn't really do anything in this situation, but that's okay. I am going to just let my Virizion go down and then start coming in and trying to finish off this Charizard. They don't throw any energy, so they leave with a bunch of energy, but they are kind of weakened at that point. And I'm just gonna let these moves go. Most Swampert are not really gonna go Earthquake, especially after the Earthquake nerf. I think it does still do a little bit more damage than Hydro Cannon, but just incredibly inefficient in terms of energy purposes. And we are able to grab a shield. And I'm gonna start shielding myself as well because I really want to take out this Swampert as fast as I can. I shield again, which is a little bit on the tougher end. I think I'm gonna let this go because they have quite a bit of energy. And I think I actually have to... Okay, so we do throw the Dragon... Or Breaking Swipe. And then now they come in with their Charizard. I end up shielding a Blast Burn, which is nice. And then... Yeah, this is unfortunate. Because I think this Blast Burn is going to land. And then we CMP, which is fine. The problem is the Swampert has still a little bit too much energy. So, unfortunately, a little bit tougher spot for my Steelix. Kind of like triple counters in a way. Charizard is... not the clearest counter, but it still does quite well into Steelix. So not a lot of room to go. But like I said, I went 18-2 with this team, so that's about half of the losses you're going to see for the remainder of this video. Again, say swap Giratina, just absolutely awful into this team, awful into any Steelix. For those that are wondering why I'm running Leaf Blade instead of Stone Edge, Leaf Blade just really shores up a lot of these water matchups like Jellicent. Swampert's fine even with Sacred Sword, but Tapu Fini is a big one too. Tapu Fini is a huge check to Steelix. And yes, you do lose some coverage without the Stone Edge for stuff like Charizard, but overall, I think it's fine. All right, so I didn't want to get much shot down. And yeah, so we throw the Leaf Blade, which means they know I probably don't have the Stone Edge, but they still shield. Maybe they thought I was running Stone Edge and Leaf Blade. I don't know. Either way, we have a ton of energy at this point, so kind of nice too, because this is almost the same team as the last one. Yeah, I just decided to take the move and yeah, just throw these body slams. Let's see how they play it out. All right. Yeah, so we have a slight chance of redemption on this one. Whoa, I came in with very low health. I'm sorry I said no shield that because I still have 2 shields left. I'm going to go for the Earthquake this time, though. Try to really just take them out. We do land. Oh, yeah, they don't have any shield. That's why. Okay, makes sense why I did that. Yeah, just choosing not to shield the Greedents. And then trying to finish this off. CMP, though, really rough. However, Steelix, coming in clutch, still hanging on there and able to take out the Charizard. And the timer is going out. Another question that people might have, this is a terrible lead for me. Another question people might have is why non-Shadow Steelix instead of Shadow Steelix? And the main reason being, in my mind, I think Steelix is a little bit better non-Shadow. It's kind of like if you had like a Bastion in Great League, if there's a Shadow variant, you probably still run the non-Shadow. You're utilizing it for the bulk, not for the damage, because the damage is still kind of underwhelming even on the Shadow variant. Like, it's okay, but you really want to be able to absorb as much damage as possible. Like that example of against that Charizard net, right? A really good example of how that bulk is really handy. If you have the Shadow version, you might not be able to tank Blast Burn and Hydro Cannon as easily and stuff like that. So my opponent there just gave up switch advantage for some reason. So because of that, I have the matchup I want, which is Steelix and Charizard. Charizard is definitely a pain into this team, but shields up, Steelix does actually quite fine because the Dragon Tail really adds up and the Breaking Swipe just keeps on debuffing them. And then my opponent actually has a Virizion on the back. I don't know. Why didn't they come in Virizion into the Greedent? I don't know, but might be a misclick. Hard to say. Either way, we are going to tank some of this damage, and I don't think they've seen the moveset I have on this Virizion yet, so that's usually pretty solid for me because it could force the opponent to shield. I think they're really low on health at this point, so they have to shield. Yeah, that's fine, and they pretty much have to throw a Blast Burn. Yeah, Dragon Claw is just not going to do it. And then, yeah, I'm going to finish it off with the Greedent in the end there. A pretty bad lead, all things considered, but we are going to swap out and see what we can do. So, we land a Crunch, and then they come in with a Charmer. So this is interesting. They have 2 very strong checks of Virizion. So I'm going to try to take out this Gramble as fast as I can. They do shield, but I'm just going to match shields, I think. They probably go Crunch. I'm probably not going to go close combat, but that's fine. Greedent, again, very, very bulky. This whole team's fairly bulky, but Greedent's bulk and Steelix bulk really makes this team pretty forgiving in terms of what you can get away with. And some of the matchups, even though they're not great for you, they still could be okay. And look, you see the Greedent with a mud shot, like they had to throw energy there. They couldn't even farm out, otherwise they're going to take another body slam. This could easily be a Dragon Claw bait, but I'm going to shield. Ends up being the Blast Burn, which is fine. And then, yeah. And then we come in with the Virizion to catch a move. This is fine for me. And then they're going to come in with the Cresselia to finish me off. But that's okay, because Steelix is very, very strong, and the debuffs just coming through. It's just going to do so much damage over time. And they just can't do anything, right? Like, look how little the Grass Taunts do. So, kind of a longer matchup, but Steelix is going to take this one. Yeah, overall, things to watch out for. Dragonite lead is kind of a core breaker in a sense, because it has play into everything. Outside of Steelix, I mean, even Steelix has superpower for it, but you'd never want to swap in Steelix into the Dragonite lead, right? But I'm going to try to catch there, and it's going to go down. Toxicroak and Buzzwole are both pretty rough. I never faced a Buzzwole yet with this team. I faced quite a few Toxicroak. Your best check is actually Steelix. So if you face a Toxicroak in the lead, I actually recommend you swap out. All right. I'm going to throw a Leaf Blade first at this Deoxys Defense to soften it up and then swap out. I don't know if it's the ideal play or not, but it's okay, I guess. It does some decent chip damage. They come in Scrafty, and again, yes, it's not ideal of a matchup, but Greedent could really add some damage. As you see, it's starting to add up already. I mean, look at the Scrafty. It's already in the yellow, and they're forced to throw their energy, which is quite nice. So we're going to come in Virizion. Yeah, okay, they came in a Oranguru, interesting enough. You rarely see that in Ultra League, but they came in Oranguru. I'm not going to shield the foul play because I know the Deoxys Defense has quite a bit of energy still. So we're just going to debuff and just go to town on these Dragon Tails. Yeah, I'm not going to shield anything because I know they have a Scrafty in the back, but I'll be able to, yeah, I'll be able to Breaking Swipe it quite a bit. And now they come in Scrafty again, but we have so much energy, and they're locked in now too. I'm gonna let it go, even if it's foul play. It's not a big deal. I think it's just Power Punch, so I let it go as well. Yeah, just getting so much value in this situation. But probably a slight mistake for my opponent to swap out, but Steelix is going to core break him anyway, so I guess it would have been fine. And then, yeah, we have energy here. And then we're able to finish it off. Nidoqueen lead. Nidoqueen is a little bit tougher. I'm also showing all these battles in order, by the way, so you might see repeat leads later on. It's just in the order of when I battle it. You can kind of tell from the timestamp up in the top left corner. All right, Greninja. It's not too bad. Because again, Greedent's so bulky, you can do quite a bit of damage into Greninja, and then they shield. I think I just let this go, yeah, because they're unlikely to run Aerial Ace. Oh, they threw Night Slash. I don't really want to win Switch because Nidoqueen still has the Earth Power for the Steelix, so maybe it's better not to give up Switch. But this is pretty bad. They have a Poliwrath, so we're going to shield. Oh, and they have Dynamic Punch too, which is better for me because they can't debuff me with Scald. A lot of them I've seen run Scald and Ice Punch in this current Ultra League variation for whatever reason. I think usually has a safe swap, so most wouldn't like bring in a Registeel into a Poliwrath, so I can see how that makes sense. And I'm sure there's probably some win cons in that situation too. And then they were trying to catch a move, I guess, but it definitely didn't pan out. So there's that. They have to go Earth Power into me to take me out. I just need a double kick down, I think. Yeah, so we're gonna double kick, and then I throw Leaf Blade. Why did I throw that Leaf Blade? I guess I thought, oh, I guess I knew that I was gonna live the Dynamic Punch. I don't know. I mean, it ended up working out, but I thought, looking in hindsight, I should have farmed down. Maybe I thought that they had a move ready or Ice Punch ready. I don't know. They must be running Ice Punch Skull. I don't even know why I didn't throw Ice Punch. I guess Ice Punch might do a little less damage, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, Virizion into Tapu Fini. I typically just build to 2 and then shield the first potential Moonblast. And if they throw Surf, I mean, unless they shield, they just, like, there's no point. Like, I don't know. It's okay. I guess the point of throwing Surf is to get me to throw my energy sooner, so I can farm more, which makes sense. Because they know it's not worth shielding because they still lose the matchup if I have Leaf Blade. I'm going to let the Blast Burn go. Again, the longer than this matchup, the better it is for me because we're just stalling out the timers. And it looks like they don't have a Greedent check for a reason. So I'm going to let it go again and then probably just come in with my Steelix. Got to wait at the timer for sure because our timers are definitely misaligned at this point. And now my timer is up, which is nice. They go straight for the Blast Burn. And then, yeah, they have a wall right in the back. So if your moves are both neutral or both super effective, it's better to throw the Leaf Blade. It does more damage than Sacred Sword. Obviously, if one's resisted, one's not, etc., then obviously throw the one that makes more sense. But that's something to note. I know Sacred Sword seems like a really good move, but Leaf Blade is one of the best moves in the game, and it's definitely the right move to throw. So again, Steelix, you would throw Sacred Sword, right? Because Leaf Blade is only neutral. As a quick example. Steelix lead, they swap straight out to their Poliwrath. It's not an ideal matchup for me, so I'm going to shield the first Ice Punch because I definitely need this still for the Steelix in the back. And then, okay, so here's one of the Toxicroaks. I've seen Toxicroak, not great, right? Pretty strong against his whole team, but I just need to whittle it down and put it in Dragon Tail range. So they're going to throw Sludge Bomb. I'm going to throw the Bisam, and then they find the shield, which is fine. But you can see the Bisam really adding up. And again, you want to wait out the Switch Timer because it's misaligned, and they're staying in, which is fine. I will probably... Yeah, I think I decided to no-shield all of these. Yeah, and they stay in. So they're still staying in for whatever reason. And I throw, I guess, a Dragon Tail or a Breaking Swipe and then go Virizion because I want them to be debuffed so they're not doing as much damage. I'm probably going to shield the first one. That's fine. I guess it doesn't really matter which one I shield. I had to shield one eventually. But yeah, let's see how we play this one out. I might have to go for a timeout win here because I'm getting super debuffed at this point. Actually, maybe not. Let's see how this goes. Maybe I swap to my Steelix. Ooh. Or maybe this is one of the games I lose. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, this is fine because then we just win CMP. Yeah, they throw the move anyway, but either way, we win CMP. And then we can finish it off with Sacred Sword. Some question that people might ask is, do you want to run attack-weighted Virizion for the potential mirror matchup? I personally don't, but you do see a few mirror matchups time to time. It's one of the best fighters, top 2 fighters for sure in Ultra League right now, so you might see quite a few. Great catch from my opponent to catch the crunch on their Poliwrath, but we at least draw the Poliwrath, which is good for us. And yeah, let's just start chipping it down. No debuff though on the Poliwrath, which would have been nice, but you can see Greedent doing so much work. They have to throw probably, yeah, they throw Dynamic Punch. So probably run Dynamic Punch, Ice Punch. Not really worth shielding, and they go Dynamic Punch again. And I'm just gonna throw Leaf Blade right away because I don't think they're gonna shield this, so I'm not gonna try to optimize because they'll probably get hit by another move. So we take out with the Leaf Blade. They're probably coming in Giratina and it's Charizard. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I remember this game now. They lagged. You can see I'm like kind of waiting for them, but I'm just like, what's happening? So I throw a move just in case they get back. Sometimes you get back in game after the move is thrown, like they're just frozen. But they just look frozen. Yeah, so a little unfortunate. Yeah, they're just like completely out of this one. I think either way, this would have been kind of nice because Charizard would probably shield the Breaking Swipe. The Giratina has no play into the Steelix, so you pretty much just, once you neutralize the Charizard, you could just win from there. But a little unfortunate, it did end up in a lag situation. Alright, mirror matchup. So I didn't realize this at the time because I wasn't looking at the name, but actually I'm facing one of my patrons. And she knew what team I was running because obviously I ran it, but also she was running it herself too. So we get into this interesting mirror matchup situation. I didn't realize at the time. I just assumed just a Virizion lead, which this is how it played out anyway. Looks like I win CMP though. I think over Virizion, the CP was a little bit, I can't see it from my area right now, but I think it was a little under 2,500, so I had a feeling I was going to win CMP. And then we get a shield from the Steelix. So I come in with the Greedent because I'll probably go Breaking Swipe at this point, and I just want to absorb all the energy first before I go into my own Steelix. So I now come in my own Steelix. Could be an Earthquake. Ends up being an Earthquake, which is not ideal. But that's okay. We're going to just do what we can and whittle down this Greedent. So this is looking kind of dire for me, actually, looking at it, because they have a lot more health on the Steelix, but we are up a shield, so we do have that going for us. And then I throw another Breaking Swipe. No, I swap. I think she's trying to swap as well, so Simul swap. But we have a lot of energy, which is really nice. We get the defense drop, even better. And yeah, this is the damage really starting to add up, and she's going to concede right there. Afterward, I looked in journal. I was like, oh, that's why we ran to him here. I haven't seen anyone else run this team outside of my patrons, but it's a good one. So highly recommend it. And yeah. All right. So a lot of people, they're like ABA weak to Virizion. They like do the strategy where they sack their lead. They come with Giratina. I say swap the Greedent. They come out with something else. And then Giratina's just completely locked in. These are probably my favorite matches because they're very clear, decisive wins. You just win the lead, pivot out, draw out their third Pokemon that's also weak to Virizion, and then lock in their Giratina for the Steelix later. obviously, in the situation they're in, they just don't have much play into Virizion lead, so they have to kind of play it that way. And I guess, yeah, the moment they come in Giratina, it's over. Greedent actually taking out Cobalt, there's pretty wild there too. I think they probably saved some of their energy. Oh, and that was a weird one too. I don't know what they're doing, but I mean, their team, Shadow Ampharos was definitely weak to my whole team, but they didn't know that yet. So I don't know. Maybe I faced some, or I don't think so. This is my first time running the team. So anyway, we do like to see Shadow Ampharos kind of struggle there. But Cresselia lead, not a great lead at all. However, and we get the counter swap of Cobalion. So that is also equally bad, if not worse. We're going to have to double kick this all the way down, get as much energy as possible. Might throw one move, I don't know. I mean, the Leaf Blade is something, but Cresselia is just so bulky that even if you stack up like 100 energy, Leaf Blades aren't going to do anything at the Cresselia. I'm going to throw one Leaf Blade though, just to throw some of my energy, because I need to farm down whatever comes out next. And then now I come in with the Steelix. So they stay in. This is a good sign for me. It means that Steelix is probably a core breaker for whatever they have in the back. Do I shield? No, I don't shield. Maybe I should be shielding. Let's see what they have in the back. But I probably should have thrown the Breaking Swipe earlier, just because I can negate some of the Psycho Cut and Grassland damage. Oh, it ends up being a Mana Buzz. Alright, so this is actually not too bad for me. I am going to go for a combo play here with the Virizion. Throw aerial A's. I just want to chip this down, I think, is my main play. It's not super clean because the aerial A's does a lot of damage. I'm going to shield again, yeah. So I decided to shield again because I want to do as much damage as possible. And now they swap in Cresselia. Did I need to shield? I don't know. I kind of want to, okay, yeah. So my plays, I didn't want to get timed out, which is why I want to keep the Cresselia or the Virizion healthy. I think my play is just to Dragon Tail down. Or throw the Breaking Swipe. And, oh. I think I lost that one. I think that was one of my losses. Sorry, I didn't film that part of the screen, so I completely forgot about that the timeout game. So I think that's one of my losses. Yeah, so that might be my second loss. I probably could have played it a little cleaner in that mid to back end matchup, but yeah, it was not the best lead, and the counter swap was a little tough too. All right, I'm not shielding my Greedent, just doing what I can with it. Probably should be shielding it. I think I shield it here because I really don't want to see that Tapu Fini. And we go for the full mud shot down, which we were able to get, which is quite nice. And I expect the Tapu Fini to come in. They actually came in Regiseal. So Switch Advantage was not that important, but I'm going to swap over to my Virizion anyway, just to start working on this Regiseal. The whole team's pretty strong, I guess, into Steelix. Well, I guess not the Cresselia, but the remaining part of the team. So that's why I just hard pivot over. Switch Advantage is not as important. And then they try to catch a Sacred Sword. I was expecting it, so that's why I purposely didn't throw the move yet. And then just overfarmed a little bit. And this is really nice. Because we get so much of an advantage at this point in time. Yeah. And then they're just going to concede right there. So Steelix wasn't even needed in that battle. All right. Another Virizion lead. Again, I just stay in this matchup and try to see who wins CMP. I've tried catching like Sacred Sword on Greedent or Steelix in the past, and it just did not pan out. So just play it out. If you lose the lead, you lose the lead. Just finish off with Greedent afterward. Most of the time, they could potentially be in Dragon Tail range, but the Greedent gets that by some a little faster. This situation, it looks like I do win Charge from Priority. So, and they come in Charizard, and I'm going to swap to Greedent. I don't want them to come away with extra energy because Charizard already is pretty good into my team. So, we're just going to stay in. And probably shield the Blast Burn. No, we let the Blast Burn go. Why did I let the Blast Burn go? I don't know. Maybe I thought something else in the back was good. Oh, okay. It's a Steelix. Okay. This is a little tough for me. Because this thing has a lot of health. And I kind of need to land an Earthquake to take this out. So, not ideal. But we come in with our Steelix and hope that they're throwing Breaking Swipe, which they do. They throw a blind Breaking Swipe, which is fine. This potentially could be an Earthquake. But here's my thought. Even if it's an Earthquake, I'm in no shield. The Blast Burn is what's going to hurt the most. And so I don't really care about getting hit by Earthquake because the Blast Burn is still going to do a ton of damage, right? So I'm choosing not to shield the Earthquake on purpose, even though I know it's an Earthquake. See, the Blast Burn is much more concerning, and the opponent still has to throw another Earthquake to take me out if I take out this Charizard. So it wasn't that big of a deal. And, you know, that's just something you have to kind of make the judgment call on at the moment. Oh, I call a huge Dragon Claw. Actually, I think they didn't have the energy for it. That's why I didn't shield, yeah. I think I was counting. I was like, yeah, they're one off from the Blast Burn. But knowing your counts is huge. I mean, looking at that, like, in retrospect, I'm like, how did I win this game? But it makes more sense now. All right, they safe swap Ampharos into Virizion after Obstagoon lead. Obstagoon loses to the Virizion as well. I know shield of Focus Blast. That's quite a bit of damage, but enough to tank it, so no big deal. We still finish off the Ampharos. I assume they don't come in Obstagoon. Yeah, they come in Cresselia. I actually swap over to my Steelix, which I don't usually do, but in this situation, I think it is the right call. Greedent's pretty strong into Cresselia with that crunch and the speed of it, getting to it with the Mud Shot. But also, on top of this Steelix versus Obstagoon matchup is actually looking better for the Steelix than the Obstagoon. Yeah, just looking like the Dragon Tail and the Breaking Swipe damage is really adding up, and they're debuffed so much too. I think we're going to throw the Breaking Swipe right away, just get, yeah, just, okay, actually I think at this point I could just farm down. I don't know why they threw a Night Slash at the point. Maybe they're just fishing for boosts? That was weird, because they got a boost and then they swapped out, so what was the point of throwing the Night Slash if you're going to swap out? I don't know. Anyway. We're going to debuff it a bunch and then come in Greedent, and they're just going to be in a really tough position. Here comes the Greedent, just going to work on this Cresselia. And they're going to concede right there, yeah. Alright, Alolan Sandslash, fantastic lead. And then they come in the Shadow Skuntank. I don't know what was going on. I think I accidentally swiped up. Anyway, we go straight for the Earthquake to finish it off. Typically, I actually swap in with the Greedent, but for some reason that time around, I decided to come in with Steelix. This was, again, some of my earlier battles, so maybe I probably switched how I played it later. I mean, it doesn't matter too much. I think, typically speaking, if it's like a Tapu Fini lead, you definitely don't want to swap in the Steelix into their Dark Poison. I typically throw a Sacred Sword and then swap in my Greedent. Oh, yeah, I remember I was at the hotel at this point, too. This happened all during Pittsburgh weekend when I was commentating, so the Wi-Fi was actually pretty bad. So you can see, like, even though I'm in, like, a pretty solid position, I'm, like, kind of struggling here due to Wi-Fi alone. Yeah, who knows, like, if I lost any moves or they got any free moves. But we're going to just power through still. I decided to shield. Not sure if that makes sense or not. Yeah, I still get to the Sacred Sword, so it works out. And then hopefully you get to a Leaf Blade. Oh, not quite. I need to live a Scald. I probably should have thrown the Bison, but I know 2 is what I need to throw anyway. That should be fine. And we are able to still get to it. So still worked out in the end. But again, the Wi-Fi was less than ideal. All right. We are facing off against a Greedent. Fantastic lead. Again, seems like the trainer is also going to be ABA weak to Virizion. Greedent's not very strong to my backline, so what I can do is probably just bring this low and then swap over to my Greedent to draw out whatever they want. Yeah, so I bring it in a little bit lower. They throw their Bison still, which is fine. I'm just farm up a bunch of energy. Looks like this was CMP, not the Underworld, because we do whittle down this Greedent, but for some reason they're also weak to Greedent in the back. Okay, so Tapu Fini. I can see why, right? It's not the easiest matchup for Tapu Fini because just the body slam spam really adds up, and Mud Shot helping that case too. They get locked in here, so I just strong pivot over to my Virizion. They shields for the Moonblast. I know this is going to have a lot of play into their Greedent, and Greedent's not a nuisance into my backline, so even if they have a Charizard, it's not the end of the world. Ends up being a Giratina, which is fine, because we're just going to whittle down the Switch Timer and then swap in our Steelix, and yeah, there's just nothing you can do at this point. We're going to let this move go. Crunch, especially when debuff is directly going to do more, but opponent is going to concede. All right, Deoxys Defense. We played around this the first in an earlier battle, and again, I'm running into some lag issues at the hotel still, but we are continuing our run. This time around, my opponent actually throws Psychic Boost early. Then now they come in with the Cresselia. So I probably could have came in Steelix in this one. Especially because it seems like they might be running Future Sight Grass Knot or Future Sight Moonblast instead of Grass Knot. So Steelix would have been really good in this situation. Either way, though, I think I'm in a okay spot. Let's see what they throw again. They throw another Future Sight. So, yeah, how do we play this out? Down a shield is not ideal for me. Yeah, I think I'm just going to let this go. Probably didn't play out the best way possible, but I do come in with Steelix. And then now they come in with their Deoxys Defense. So, interesting enough, because this thing's pretty strong into my Virizion. So, they must have something really weak to the Steelix in the back. That being said, I'm just going to do what I can to take out this Deoxys Defense. And they start shielding. Oh, and Galarian Weezing. Okay, yeah, so triple strong into Virizion. I go straight for the Earthquake. Which ends up working out quite well. I no shield the potential overheats, which works out even better. And yeah, I think we just decide to take this out with the Virizion. So this actually was a really tough matchup for my Virizion, but ended up working out well. I think I could have played it better. Steelix into Cresselia, and then Greedent just beats Weezing. So could have had an easier time there, but able to find the win condition. Yeah, we still got Elite Blade. And able to take it out. And as you can see, that's the end of my 20 games. So it looks like that one game that ended in a timeout was my second loss. And you can see this was my more recent set. Able to go, I think, 5-0 in that set too. Climbing all the way past 2,600. I just got my elo literally like yesterday. So just getting even further along the rankings is huge. And again, a super strong team, regardless of if it's this rotation or future rotations. I think this is going to be a really, really strong team for this upcoming season. Thank you all for watching. I know it's a long one, but 20 awesome battles. Had to show it all off to you all. And best of luck if you decide to run this team. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share. Subscribe for future content. Hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video. And I'll catch you all next time.